So good morning everyone. We have studied in our last class about what is biodiversity and what are the different levels of biodiversity. And today we are going to discuss and last class we also discussed about the how the tropical rainforest, as we know that the tropical rainforest is very much rich of the biodiversity, which have a lavish biodiversity and when compared to the temperate region. Now today we are going to discuss, that is moving on to the species area relationship. So you can see here. So here is you can see the graph plotting, right? So with the species richness against the area, what a German naturalist and a geographer by name Alexander von Humboldt. So the name. So, by the name, as I told, he is a German, German naturalist as well as the geographer by the name Alexander von Humboldt. So, he observed that within a region, so within this region, there will be a species richness which will be increased with the increasing exploded area, but only species to a limit. That is, as I told, he is one of the naturalists and also the German geographer. So what he did, he observed within that region, in the particular region, there will be a species richness. So that species richness is increasing by increasing what? By increasing the exploded area, but only up to a limit. So it is up to that particular limit. So he observed that the species richness is increased. So this species richness is increased based on the increased surface area. So and the relationship between the species richness and the area for a wide variety of a taxa, which will turns out to be a rectangular hyperbola. You can see this rectangular hyperbola, which will turn into what? Rectangular hyperbola. So you can see this in your graph. It will be there in your textbook. Please do refer that. So and I have sent notes. Please do refer those graphs also. So according to him, the relationship between the species richness and the relationship, as I told, the relationship between the species richness and the area for a wide variety of a taxa, which will turns out to be what? It turns out to be a rectangular hyperbola. So what is the species area relationship? And as I told, according to the German naturalist Alexander von Humboldt, so he is the German naturalist as well as the geographer. So what he did, he said that the species richness, which is increased by the increasing surface area, but only up to what? A limit. So the relationship between the species richness and the area for a wide variety of a taxa, which will runs out to be a what? A rectangular hyperbola, which will be turns around what? Turns to be a rectangular hyperbola, and it can be calculated by an equation called log s is equal to log c plus z log a. So and now let us see what is this what is this according to him. And see here, we can see that on a logarithm, so on the logarithmic scale, the relation is the what? The relation will be the what? Straight line, right? So here you can as I told, you can see the straight line, so which will describe the equation. So what is that equation? That is log s is equal to log c plus z log a. So this is very important for your exam point of view, right? Usually they ask that, so what is the species area relationship and explain it properly. So you have to explain this graph along with the equation, right? So this graph, as I told, it is very, very important. You have to learn the graph and you also the equation, so on. So as I told, the logarithmic scale, in a logarithmic scale, the relationship is the what? It is in the straight line. It is in the straight line, which will describe by an equation called as log s is equal to log c plus z log a, where s, this s stands for what? So this S stands for what? Species richness, and A stand for what? Area, which will stands for what? Area, and Z stand for slope of the line. The Z stand for what? Slope of the line. That is a regression coefficient. And C stand for what? Y intercepts. That will y-intercepts. So it has been noted that regardless of the taxonomic group or the region, the slope of the regression line are amazingly similar. So however, for a very large area like the entire continent, so the slope of the line which will be what? The slope of the line is a steeper. So the species richness which will depends upon the area, right? So that is the surface area. So it has been noted that that regardless of the taxonomic group or a region, the slope of the regression, the slope of the regression line are amazingly similar. However, for every large area like the entire continent, the slope of the line which will be the steeper. So this is very, very important concept for your examination point of view. So what is the equation? That is log s is equal to log c plus z log a. So it is as I told, on a logarithmic scale, the relationship between the species richness is and the area. As I told, the relationship between the that is in the logarithmic scale, the relationship is a straight line. That is log s is equal to log c plus log z log a. That is described by the equation. So that is, however, for every large area like the entire continent, the slope of the line is the what? Is a steeper. Have you understand this species area relationship? Now moving on to the next very important thing is the species diversity to the ecosystem, right? Moving on to the next important topic is, that is importance of species diversity to the ecosystem. So you have heard about the different species of dog, right? So we have a diversified species of dogs and the other animals. Like in a dog, we have a Pomeranian, Dachshund, Tibetan, miniature pug, Rottweiler, Bulldog, Graden. So and Mudol, etc. We have such a diversified species of dogs. So you can see the different variety of dog. I think all of us know an ecosystem. So the stability of an ecosystem is very, very important. Why? Because even for the human being, we cannot survive without the ecosystem. Imagine if there is an imbalance in the ecosystem, where we all depend upon the, as we know that we are all depend upon the ecosystem for our basic needs, maybe like water, food and the shelter. So if you if you imagine, if the ecosystem is destroyed, even the human being also will be equally affected. So it is like a give and take policy. I think all of us know human being is always have a close interrelationship with the environment. So we need to protect the environment, and the environment is going to protect the human being. It is just like, as I told, it is a give and take policy. So what is this importance of species species diversity to the ecosystem? So if more and more species are found in the ecosystem is more stable, right? So if you have a more number of species, then ecosystem will be stable. So if they lost more number of species, then the ecosystem will not be stable, right? To balance this ecological balance, the species number should be maintained constantly. So for example, you can see the weighing machine. So if something is added for a one portion, then the another portion, if you had anything, it should be balanced. If it is imbalanced, means what will happen? It won't be a constant. So like that, we have to balance that. This to balance this ecological species, the number should be maintained constantly. Understood? So community with the more species generally tends to be a more stable than those with the less species, right? So it is very important point to be noted, that is the community with the more species generally tends to be a more stable than those with the less species. Imagine, like for example, more snakes are there and less number of rats are there. So then what will happen? So there you can see that if that snake is more and the rat is less. So in the due course of time, then there will be a no food for the snakes, and even for the snakes will be disappearing from the ecosystem, right? So to maintain that ecological balance, we need the species in a proper stable condition. So a stable community should not be show too much variation in the productivity from year to year. So too much of variation is also not good for an ecological balance. So to a stable community should not be show what? If the community should be stable, it should not show much variation or the changes. So because that is going to affect what? That is going to affect the ecosystem. The variation in productivity from years to year, it must be resistant or resilient to what? Occasional disturbance. That is natural or it may be the man-made. I think all of us know we have a lot of ecological imbalance. It is maybe due to the natural calamities, maybe if, recently we have come across floods, and because of the even the coronavirus, so where many people have lost their life, right? They have died. So these are some imbalance in the ecology or the ecosystem. But imagine even a man made also, for example, cutting a trees, obviously what will happen? It is going to immense effect on the ecosystem. So the species rich, so the ecosystem balance should be maintained properly, right? Told to stable community. So a stable community should not show what? Too much of variation. Unless and until disturbed. It is disturbed, either it may be for a limited for a limited addition, that is either by the natural calamities or by man-made activities. So the stable community must be resistant to invasion by alien species, right? So you can see that to stable the community, one of the really the alien species. Yes, of course. I think nowadays we have come across a many alien species coming and dominating the ecosystem. So for example, like all of us know about the carrot grass. What do you mean? What do you this carrot grass? That is nothing but the Parthenium, right? So which is called a Parthenium. So it is come to India along with weed, right? But imagine now it has becomes an alien species. So and it is so very different, difficult to eradicate. Even you take the aquatic plant like Ecornia. So it was brought to India because of this beautiful leaves. So what happened? Now it is almost all it multiply in the water body. So you can see that is so much so that it is depleting water from oxygen, so thereby killing the many aquatic animals. So that that leaf, that Ecornia has been multiplying in the water body. So ecosystem should always maintain what? Stability. In spite of all the what? In spite of the alien species. So for example, if the alien species is dominant more in the ecosystem, then the ecosystem stability will be what? Disturbed. It will be disturbed. So that should not be happen. Even if the alien species are also there, there must be a ecological balance. So that should be balanced by the ecology. If there is a even the alien species, if there is any dominating, that ecology should what? It has to be balanced. It should be in a balance. They have to maintain the balance in the ecosystem. Then according to David Tillmans, so according to David Tillmans, a scientist, he had a one experiment, that is a long-term experiments. He find that he was the opinion, in his opinion, that he plot with the more species which will show the less year to year variation in the biomass. So and increased diversity contribute to the high productivity, right? So if the diversity has been increased, it will contribute what? It will be contribute the higher productivity. So according to this person, the scientist named by David Tillmans, so what was his opinion? So that is he plots with the more species which will show a less year to year variation in a biomass. That means increased diversity which will contribute to higher productivity. So these are all the important. So these are all the importance of species diversity to this ecosystem. So it is very much important. First and foremost, the ecology should be balanced. That should be maintained constant. So that is how you can what? That is the main importance for the species diversity to the ecosystem. Now moving on to the next very important concept called the revert Popper hypothesis. So next is the important concept they may ask for your exam. Explain the revert Popper hypothesis. So this is the hypothesis put across by a scientist called as Paul. So the put across by the scientist called as Paul Ehrlich. So as I told, a scientist name is called Paul Ehrlich. You know that according to him, he compared the ecosystem to the what? Aeroplane, and the species to the rivet. Rivet means it is a parts of the ecosystem, parts of the aeroplane, right? So according to him, that means he compared the ecosystem to the aeroplane, and to an what? He compared the species to the rivets of an aeroplane. So as I told, rivet means what? It is a parts of the aeroplane. See, such a beautiful hypothesis he put across to he put across by the what? Who had put across this revert Popper hypothesis? A scientist called Paul Ehrlich. So which is called as what? The revert Popper hypothesis. So what did he compare? According to this Paul Ehrlich, he compared the ecosystem to the aeroplane, and he compared the species of the ecosystem to the rivet. So rivet are nothing but, as I told, it is a parts of an aeroplane. So what was his opinion? So in an aeroplane, according to him, as I told, the ecosystem is compared to the aeroplane and the species to the parts. So all these parts are joined together by thousands of rivers. That is a species. So how do aeroplane made? like a many of parts are put together to make a aeroplane. It might be the cockpit, wings, wheels, everything. So or it may be, as I told, it may be the everything, every parts of the aeroplane plane which will makes to fly, right? Each and every part of the aeroplane is responsible for the to make the aeroplane, so that it makes to possible to fly in the air. So all the parts are joined together to make a aeroplane. Is in a similar way, all the species in the ecosystem put together to make what? To make the ecosystem. So all the species are very important, where it put to across what? Ecosystem. So according to him, the aeroplane is a ecosystem, and all the parts that are used to join or to make that aeroplanes are called as what? Species or the revert. So for example, if the passengers or the travelers which are travel in the aeroplane, and they starts pick upping one by one, they will start pick upping one by one, they will start moving from the airport, they start going with the steps, they will have a seat on the aeroplane, like that they will going to pick up one by one. All the parts of the aeroplane may be, as I told, maybe like a seat, or it may be the like a one by one. That is a similar way the what in an ecosystem, one by one species are removed from the what from the ecosystem. What will happen? The much ecological balance will not be happen. So maybe even in an aeroplane also, one by one parts are removed. So may it is not going to what? Disturb the movement of an aeroplane. But imagine if the wings of the aeroplane is removed, definitely it is going to collapse. Similar way, imagine if the species are removed, or if the keystone species are removed from the ecosystem, as I told, it is removed from the ecosystem, then definitely the ecosystem will be decreased, right? So that is what is opinion. So let us see one by one what is the opinion about this Revert-Popper hypothesis. And this Revert-Popper hypothesis was put across by a scientist called as Paul Ehrlich. So he put across, as I told, he's a scientist. He has such wonderfully he has compared this hypothesis to the aeroplane. So he compared this ecosystem to the aeroplane and the parts that are used to make the aeroplane. So we have 1,000 parts are used to make a aeroplane, which is called as what? Reverts. So and he has compared then to the species that revert, as I told, reverts the parts that reverts has been compared to the species. For example, as I told, for every passengers, many people will travel in a aeroplane. So if they reach one, he started picking. If one by one they are started picking any parts of the aeroplane. Imagine what will happen, right? What will happen to the aeroplane, right? So if every passenger starts popping a revert to take home, they like start taking by the parts by parts. So parts of the aeroplane. So that means one by one species will be extinct. So if one by one species are removed from the ecosystem, as we know that more number of extinction species will be happen. So if it is not affect the flight safety initially, but after initially the flight safety will not be affected. So if one or two parts are removed, and if you are like one or more rivers are, if the more rivers are removed, more parts of the aeroplane has been removed, the aeroplane becomes what? Dangerously weak. That means it will be collapsed, right? Obviously when the important part is removed from the aeroplane, then definitely there will be a there will be a danger of aeroplane collapsing. So further, what happen if it is like that, the keystone part of the species has been removed for the ecosystem? What will happen? It will be it happens to the extinct. So it will become extinct. So furthermore, which on the wings? So here he has compared the wings to the key species. wings to the key species. So he compared ecosystem to the aeroplane, species to the revert, wings to the key species, right? So as I told further, as I told the if the key species, as I told, the key species is very important in the ecosystem. It is obviously a more serious threat to flight safety than loss of few reverts on the seats or windows inside the plane. So just like wings are very important to the plane, so also the key species are very important for the ecosystem. Like furthermore, which on the wings is obviously or a more serious threat is flight safety than the loss of a few rivers on the seats or the windows of plane. So if the wings have been removed, the windows has been removed, see the safety of the aeroplane, it will be going to collapse very dangerously. So he has compared such a beautiful explanation he had given about the Revert Popper's hypothesis. So hope you have understood what is this hypothesis, right? Now moving on to the next. So hope you got to know what is this Revert Popper hypothesis. Now moving on to the loss of the biodiversity. Moving on to the loss of the biodiversity. I think all of us know day by day, our biodiversity is depleting. If that means it losing its charm and the beauty. Why? Because there is an many reasons to quote for the loss of the biodiversity. Maybe due to natural or it may be due to man-made activities. But one thing is very important and it is very much sure that we are losing our beautiful biodiversity, and day by day with the increasing population or the increasing demands on food and space and the shelter, I think definitely the biodiversity depleting day by day. So it is going to end. So due to this loss of biodiversity, many animals are become extinct. You have heard about a Stiller's cow, dodo, quack. So you have heard about all those things. All these animals are almost become what? Extinct. So that is dodo of Mauritius, quack of Africa, thylacine of Australia, and the Stiller's cow of Russia, and the three subspecies of tiger like Bali, Java, Caspian. So these are the three species of what? Tiger. So these subspecies of tiger like Bali, Java, Caspian. So this is, as I told, this is the very important point from the examination point of view. So which is going to ask in your exam also. So they will ask like this: quote the extinction of animals due to loss of biodiversity. Right. That is one. One is what? Dodo of Mauritius, quack of Africa, thylacine of Australia, and the Stiller's cows of Russia, and the three subspecies of tiger, that is Bali, Java, and the Caspian. So, since the origin and the diversification of life on the earth, there were 5 episodes of mass extinction of species. So the 6th extinction will be is in the process. So we have 5 episodes of extinction is already happened. Now it is 6th extinction is going to happen. That is in a progress. How the 6th extinction is different from the previous 5th extinction. So that is a 6th extinction is differ, which is when we compare to the past 5 extinction. So the correct extinction rate is 100 to 1000 times faster. So imagine day by day the animals have become extinct. So maybe due to the man-made activities which is called as anthropogenic actions, or it may be due to the natural calamities, that is day by day the animals or the plant species become extinct. So it is increased to what, 1,000 times faster when compared to the previous year extinction. So all other species, so as I told, all other are the pre-human period. This one it is, that is the anthropogenic. All this is due to anthropogenic activities. That is the what it is, that man-made activities which will lose the biodiversity. So as I said, one fine day the human life is going to be affected. If we are keep losing our biodiversity day by day, it is our bound duty, right? It is our bound duty to protect and conserve the biodiversity. So where it is a place where we are having a benefit with many products, and we have a lavish beauty of a planet Earth will be lost. So if we start destroying the biodiversity, and as I said, many of species are going to become what, extinct. So what a day may come, I think how a day we are seeing like a elephant, or we are seeing many animals. So maybe day by day will come with in the future course of time, the children will have see these animals in the picture, like we are seeing the dinosaurs in only in the pictures and the movies, like that. In the future generation, in the in the due course of time, so all these animals have been become extinct, and our future generation will see those animals only in the pictures or the photographs, right? So these are the animals which have been become extinct, that is Stilla cow, dodo, quack, thylacine, and the three subspecies of tiger. So they have become extinct. So because of what? Because of the anthropogenic activity. What do you mean by anthropogenic activity? That is man-made activities. So this is the loss of the biodiversity. Now what is the effects of this biodiversity loss? So what is the major effects of this biodiversity loss? As we know that if we keep on cutting the trees, what will happen? We will get a good oxygen? No, right? So we won't get a good oxygen, and also we won't get any productivity. That the effects of biodiversity loss. So hope you remember, hope you got to understand what is the loss of biodiversity, right? So next is the effects of the biodiversity loss. As I told, if we keep on cutting on the trees, so if we start burning the trees, and what will happen? So obviously it leads to habitat loss. I think nowadays we have come across due to floods, it might be due to the volcano, it may be due to the drought, we are losing the habitat. So why all these changes in the environmental condition is going to happen? Because there is no ecological balance. So what is the effect of this biodiversity loss? So declining in plant production. Obviously it will lead to what? Decline in the plant production. So human life will be very difficult to lead, because there will be a scarcity of food. Then what happened? The lower resistant to the environmental perturbations such as drought. So more you plant the trees, will what? Lesser will be the natural calamities. Like it might be a drought or famine, or it may be the floods also. So when the lower resistant to the environmental perturbations such as drought, so if we keep on destroying the biodiversity, then we'll not have that much resistance to control the environmental calamities like drought, flood, landslides, etc. like that and all. So increased variability in a certain ecosystem process such as pain productivity, water use, pest and disease cycle. So will not able to control all this all those that is the increased variability in certain ecosystem process such as the paint productivity, water use, pest and the disease cycle. And above, what are the losses of the law, that is which will affect what, which will affect the biodiversity loss, and what are the causes for this biodiversity. So there are four important causes of this biodiversity loss, hence it is called as the evil quadrant. So the evil means what? The bad. Quadrant means 4. Right? So the 4 reasons. So the present loss is all due to what? It is due to the human activities, that is the anthropogenic activity. I think we come across in Coorg, that is Madkeri, we have more number of landslides, and even in Kerala there will be a lots of flood affected areas, like has been happened. So all this is because of what? So because of the human man-made activities, right? So which is not which was not happened in a later days. So why it is happening now, why it is very common now, and why we are not able to withstand with this natural calamities. It is all because of the man-made activities, which is completely destroy the nature. So that is a cause of the biodiversity. We are going to discuss about this cause of biodiversity in detail in the next class.